If you've been feeling stuck in your real estate business, like you keep starting and then stopping, maybe you gain some momentum, but then eventually you lose it, then this video is for you. Maybe you're looking at numbers and saying, I should be further. Maybe you're watching other people do amazing on social media and you ask yourself, why not me? What am I doing wrong? But I just want to say this to you, there's nothing wrong with you. Feeling stuck does not mean you're broken. It just simply means that something inside you is asking for alignment.
So here's the deal. We're going to be diving in deep today with why you're stuck. What does being stuck mean? And how you can create sustainable momentum forward. My brother Pedro, myself, he's going to be coming from a space of a mindset. I'm going to be more of a tactical approach to things, systems, tools, and processes, our daily disciplines. But when we combine those two things, those two sides of the same coin, that's where the value is. Let's talk about it. So when an agent feels stuck, it's really, a lot of the times it's an operational problem, even more or in addition to the mental one. So when we're talking about that, we're talking about low lead flow. We're talking about poor conversion when we do have the leads coming in and we're not setting the appointments. So we have people raising their hand for help, but we're not getting in front of them face to face, which typically leads to our inconsistent follow-up. So if we can't set the appointments from the leads that we are getting, even if it's a lot of volume or a little bit, we don't have follow-up or inconsistent follow-up, has a lot to do with that and our lack of systems. So if we have CRMs or we have calendars or we have other tools to facilitate our business or automate the process and we're not using them, and which is even worse, that we're not using them to their fullest capacity, because a lot of times we're paying for it. It kind of leads to that tactical issue, right, of feeling stuck. And I think the last part that I really want to kind of touch on for that is time management, which all of that falls into an unbalanced pipeline. So if we're not getting the leads, or if we are getting leads and then we're not setting the appointment, and then if we don't have that consistent follow-up along with systems, the lack of them or the inconsistent use of them, it's going to lead to an inconsistent pipeline. So who has closed one deal in a month and then had nothing closed for the next month, 2, 3, 4 months, right? So that's what we want to get rid of. That's what we want to address, and that's what we're going to help fix today.
So now I want to talk about what stuck really looks like for agents. And when I'm talking about being stuck, I'm coming from a place of mindset. Stuck may look like waking up in the morning with great intentions. You're motivated, right? You told yourself last night you're going to wake up, you're going to get to it, you're going to work hard. But then you wake up, you grab the phone, and maybe you start scrolling, and then 30, 45 minutes go by. Stuck may also look like saying, you know what, tomorrow I'm going to prospect for 3 hours nonstop, and you wake up and you actually don't do it. Stuck also looks like maybe creating a long to-do list of a lot of things, and instead of making them valuable things that move the needle, you focus on small activities such as reading email, checking calendar, texting whoever. Stuck also looks like looking at other people's highlight reel and you compare yourself to them, and then you feel bad about yourself and you get sad, you get depressed, you get discouraged. But here's the thing, my friends, most agents don't get stuck because they're lazy. They get stuck simply because maybe they're disconnected from their purpose. They may be overwhelmed. They may be tired. And that's totally normal. But you have to know that so that you can address it. I remember a season of my life where I would wake up with the energy, with the commitment that I would get a lot of work done, and I would get on my computer, stare at my CRM, and get absolutely nothing done. I would not make a single call, even though I told myself that I would. I told myself that I would get organized, that I would get everything going, that if I focus on organization and creating all these different things, that everything was going to be better, and that tomorrow the day was going to be way more successful. I was wrong. And then I would say, well, tomorrow I get to wake up again and I get to try hard and it's going to be a successful day. But you know what? The same thing kept happening over and over and over again. And that's when the real damage happens, because now you start getting comfortable with failing. You start getting comfortable with doubting yourself. And now when you say you're going to do something, you don't believe it anymore. Slowly but surely, it does happen. It happened for me a few times. And I know it can happen for a lot of agents. But then one day, I just got tired of hearing my own excuses. And I said, you know what, today, I'm going to focus on one new activity, one new thing about myself that I could change that will move the needle. And that started creating change. 10 minutes of real work, as small as it seems, only 10 minutes started to create a lot. And eventually that 10 minutes became 20, 30, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And then eventually I was able to get myself out of the position of feeling stuck. The crazy part about it is time didn't change me. It was keeping the promise that did. That's when the momentum started to come back and everything changed for me.
Okay, so from a number standpoint, here's what's really going on when an agent feels like they're stuck, or they feel, or they're saying they're stuck. I hate the phrase, did you know? But did you know? 50 to 70% of the time, clients are gonna go with the agent that has the first meaningful conversation with them. The first meaningful conversation, 50 to 70% of our clients go with that first person. Something else that we're not talking about a lot of times is conversion. On an industry average, it's 1 to 3%. That means 1 out of 100 people, 3 out of 100 people we're going to convert on an industry average. The difference between having systems and not having systems, with systems and processes, that average jumps to 6 to 12% conversion.
Wow.
6 to 12%. That's 9% difference. That means there's 9 more contracts out of the 100 people that you're going to come into contact with and get in front of if you just have tools, systems, and processes in place. 48% of real estate agents never follow up more than 2 times. That means a phone call, a text message, an email, whatever. 48% never follow up after that second touch. And on average, it takes 8 to 12 touches for conversion to happen. How many conversations do you think it takes to have consistent closings every month? Take a number. Whatever that number is, 30 to 40 conversations a month. That's 1 to 2 people every single day we're having meaningful conversations with in order to create a steady, consistent, sustainable pipeline. So how do you break down your time? So time allocation, time blocking, calendar use, however you want to put it. How do you block your time? Top producers are going to spend 2 to 3 hours every single day just on lead generation, just on putting new people into their database. They're going to spend an hour on follow-up, and they're going to spend an hour on client relations every single day. They do this religiously, so they're disciplined every single day to do this time block. The last piece of the puzzle for me is, what's your ROI? What's the return, your lead gen ROI? You need to figure out, based on all of the things that you're putting into your systems on a daily basis, a weekly and a monthly basis, whether that's money, more importantly than money, a lot of the times is time. What's the time? What's the ROI for the lead generation that you are creating for yourself? And we want to have 3 to 4, we want a 3 exit, we want a 4 exit.
So a lot of us wait to feel motivated and get the momentum back. But here's the truth. You don't need motivation. You need self-respect. And the highest form of self-respect is discipline. Momentum is not going to come from hype. It's simply going to come from keeping small promises to yourself and showing up for yourself. Start to believing in yourself that what you say, you do. Every time you say that you're going to do something and you actually do it, you start to develop more confidence within you. Now you don't feel that what you're saying is empty, right? And a lot of times it's easy to look in the mirror and say, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. Then eventually you avoid the mirror completely. Self-trust is going to be what fuels your momentum all the time, every single time. I don't care how many books you read. This is how you start to believe in yourself and gain momentum. One of my favorite books is Atomic Habits. And in that book, it talks about, I really love that he talks about that it's not the goal, it's the identity. Instead of saying, I want to be consistent, you say, I'm the agent that's consistent. I'm the agent that shows up every morning. Not, I want to be. Not, I wish I would. Not, I wish I would have more leads. No. I'm the agent that goes and gets more leads. I'm the type of agent that calls every day. I'm the type of agent that shows up every day. I'm the type of agent that's productive every day. That alone just changes everything about yourself. The chemistry in your brain starts to change. Your momentum will never be higher than the story you believe about yourself. But it's another concept that I really love, and that's the 100-day rule. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. What you do today, specifically in real estate, what you do today, it's not going to show up for another 100 days. And you have to know that. You have to embrace it. And you have to start to embrace and love the fact that you cultivate to see something grow in the long term, not immediate, instant gratification. So if your business is slow right now, that is not a sign that you're failing or that your business is failing. It's just a reflection of what you did and who you were 3 months ago, 90, 100 days ago. Don't be upset. Just understand that your circumstances right now, they didn't happen because you didn't wake up yesterday and didn't follow up, they happened because 3 months ago, you've been on this streak every day of not doing all the things you need to do. But you can always pick it up. You can always change it. But just don't be mad at yesterday. If you're going to be upset at anything, then think about 3 months ago, 90, 100 days ago, and why your situation right now is the way it is. But if you start showing up just a little bit different every week, then guess what, my friend? In 90, 100 days, it's going to be a totally different outcome. There's a huge difference between hustle and alignment. Hustle is always do more, sleep less, get more proficient, add more things to your calendar, add all these tasks. But alignment says, no. Do what matters. Focus on the 3 to 5 most important things that you need to do today that'll move the needle for you, for your personal, for your business, for your life. When I started choosing alignment and deviated away from hustle, which I lived in hustle for most of my whole life, things started to change for me. The feeling of stuckness started to disappear in my life. And now my actions started to match my values, my faith, my priorities, everything that was important about my life. And then at that point, I could actually sustain the momentum without losing myself. You cannot build long-term momentum when you're coming from a place of chaos. You have to come from a place of alignment.
Let's talk about how do we rebuild momentum with our systems that we're going to use. And the way I kind of approach it is like a 3-core system reset, okay? So the first part of this, all of our problems go away if we reset how we're approaching our lead gen. So we're going to make a commitment to 2 hours a day to purposefully, with intent, build our SOI. Right behind that, building our SOI, is we have to be able to track it. How do we meaningfully measure growth or the lack of it if there's no system in place to track it? So all of the actions that we take in the day, whether that's using your calculator, whether that's a spreadsheet, build a system and a process to track the business that you do. Calls, conversations, appointments, follow-ups. We have to track that stuff. Which leads me into my second core point I want to make is our follow-up system. A great way to do this is just to use a simple 10-5-2 system. So for every individual client, we want to have 10 touches in 10 days. Then we want to have 5 touches in 11 to 30 days. And then 2 touches weekly after that. So if we do that consistently for all of our clients, we will find that follow-up. We will find that fortune in the follow-up. The third core value that we want to reset is our pipeline management system. We're going to do weekly pipeline check-ins. New leads added, who we connected with, how many conversations that we have, and what offers were written. We can do that by building a weekly KPI. And those KPIs are super simple. Conversations, appointments set, appointments held, because we can set appointments without actually having one. So we want to know the difference. What our active buyers and sellers are, how many of those we have, and the contracts written. Those are our 5 KPIs. And then we're going to plug all of that into our calendar, our time blocking structure, AKA our calendar. Some people like to do all of their work in the morning. Some people like to do all of the work in the evening. Your preference. This is your business. You may operate completely different than I do. I like to get all of my work done as soon as humanly possible so I have the rest of the day to do and be available for and flexible to my clients' needs. Last piece of the puzzle is tightening our workflow. Every single lead enters your CRM every single day. We're going to use tags for every single person that goes into your CRM. We're going to set reminders. The beautiful part about this is it can all be automated. It's as simple as entering the data once for each client and your process and systems run.
So let me give you a few simple inner work steps that you can start implementing in your life. Number 1, I want you to ask yourself an honest question. And most importantly, let the answer be even more honest. I want you to ask yourself, where am I out of alignment in my business and in my life right now? Sit on it, meditate on it, and I want you to write down an answer. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your schedule, maybe it's family, maybe it's new habits that you're not proud of. Maybe it's your faith. Whatever it is, write it all down, and it could be multiple. It could be many things. You cannot fix what you're unwilling to look at. Number 2, I want you to make a small promise for the next 48 hours. That promise may be, I'm going to have one conversation for the next 2 days, a real conversation with a new person. Or I'm going to wake up 20 minutes earlier for the next 2 days. or I'm going to work out harder, or actually go to the gym in the first place for the next 2 days. Whatever that is, I want you to make a promise. The only thing that matters here is the follow through, not the size of the promise. Because 2 days of actually delivering on your promise can do a lot more than 2 full weeks of planning every day and spending a whole 2 weeks on ChatGPT trying to come up with the most perfect plan in life that you actually don't do just in those 2 days. Number 3, I want you to create a 15-minute momentum block. Pick a time, let's say from 9 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. Just 15 minutes. Pick a time that works for you. And I want you to time block it, and I want you to label it non-negotiable momentum block. During that little time block, you're going to do one thing that moves your business ahead. Whatever it is, you're going to do one thing for those 15 minutes, and you're going to do it well. No scrolling, no researching, just movement. Movement, my friend. Movement. You'd be amazed what could happen when you get 15 minutes in just one day. And then once you do that, then you start to imagine what could happen for the rest of your life. Number 4, I want you to set up a 2-minute reset break. This is for when your mind just starts to spiral, maybe when you get distracted. Give yourself 2 minutes. During those 2 minutes, I want you to take a deep breath through your nose. I want you to hold it, and then I want you to exhale. Because you cannot think clearly when you're distracted, when you're in a panic mode, or when you're upset about something. Calm is a skill, and it gives you a competitive edge over a lot of people. You'd be surprised how many people go about life not knowing how to calm themselves down. Keeping calm, being quiet is going to be the right mindset and the right state of being internally so that you can start changing things about yourself. So if you're feeling stuck, my friend, I want you to really hear this. You're not lazy. You're not a failure. You're a work in progress. You need to remember that. Start small. Keep that promise that we spoke about. Give yourself those 15 minutes for real effort every day and invite God into your plans, and you will see the fruit that starts to come out of you.
Guys, listen to me. I know we've thrown a lot at you today. There's a lot of steps in this process, and everybody's at a different journey. Whether you're just getting started, you've been in the career for 20 years. What I would love for you to do, if you're willing to take action in your own behalf, if you're willing to put in the work intentionally and with effort, comment below daily. We will send you everything that we talked about today. We'll give you your daily checklist. We'll call out those call to actions. We'll give you your challenges so that you can do it in a streamlined fashion.
We're just 2 guys that have been through a lot, that have done a lot of growth, that have been successful in real estate. And as coaches and mentors and team leaders, we want to provide assistance, value, and guidance to agents out there that may need that help. So we want to be that for you. So make sure you comment below. We want to help you. We want to send you this information. Follow us, subscribe. My friends, God bless.
God bless.